Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the new player's guide for Valheim on console. I will be your host for today's video. My name is BioLaser. Let's just jump right into it. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to get started on Valheim. We're going to go through how to find your first house and even how to beat the first boss before day 3. Now let's just jump right into it. We're right now on the character selection. You're going to create your character and then you're going to start in your world. As you know, it's gonna load in and we're gonna see the sequence. Now, one of the first tips that I will give you is always talk to Hugin. He's gonna be the crow. Whenever you do something new or something that you're not so sure of, he's gonna tell you right here. So you can see he's always gonna give you tips. Welcome to the 10th World Warrior. I am Hugin said, so he's always going to talk to you. Now, another thing that you could do is that if you press the triple line on the Xbox remote, you're gonna be able to see all of your actual, controls. You could always go to settings. I always like to go to settings and turn down my audio because the music can be loud and a little bit obnoxious to those of you that are not used to it. Obviously, you could go to the controls. You could go to the new remote or the classic or the console. As well as there's the camera sensitivity, you could always turn it up or down. It shows you right here, show button hits and press camera, all of that stuff. Graphics, I will turn down, oh, I guess I don't have it here, but yeah, motion blur, I believe it was here. Yeah, there you go, motion blur, you could always turn it down. And you could always, there's tons of things you could do here. Now, while you finish all of this, what you're going to do is that you're going to go ahead. You're going to go back and you could always save the game right here. The game kind of automatically saves, but I suggest for you to always hit save. You never know what could happen. Now that this is over with, we're going to jump in here. Oh my god, we got our first monster. Do not be scared. He's a little guy, little gremlin, little gray. I like to call him Greg. You're just going to punch him. And now you might be wondering, well, how did you punch him? Well, there's two ways to punch. Okay, we just learned some recipes right there, and we're jumping ahead of ourselves. So, as you can see, if you go over here, if you use the attack phase, which is going to be your RB, you could always do that. And there's another one that you could always use, which is the RT. That's the second attack. That's like a bigger attack, more of a charge attack. I would suggest to stick with the RB. Like this, it's a lot better than the charge attack. As you see, it's a little bit faster. Obviously, the charge attack does more damage, but it is a bit slower and you could miss. Now, you can see my stam down here whenever I use it. It's going down. Now, there is a way that's going to be your stam down there, and then there's also your HP, which is at the bottom left, right over there. Now, there is ways for you to increase that, and that's going to be with food, but we'll get to that in a second. And at the top left, you're going to see our items. Right now we only have a torch. We could always craft an axe and an actual mace, but we'll have to collect things on the floor. So as you see right here, we got stones, and perfect example, we got some berries back here. So if we go with the berries and then I open up my menu with Y on the Xbox, if I hover over the raspberries, it says right here, it gives me 7 health and 20 stamina, and it HP tick for 1 HP every single, I guess you could say second or minute. And it only lasts for 10 minutes. So if I were to eat it, like so, you see that my HP went up and my stamina now is at 70 rather than at 50. And you see my HP went past 25, which was before. Now, you also gonna have your armor here. As you can see, I have my armor. I don't have any pants. I only have a shirt. So we're just starting out naked. Right here where we start is the trophy place, I guess you could say. So these are all the boss fights that are in Valheim. And I know this might be a lot, but these are all the boss fights that are in Valheim. When you beat a boss, if you come back here and you put a trophy to wherever the stone is. So like you see right here, this is gonna be the first boss right here. But when you come back and you put a trophy down, you're gonna get, like, I guess you could call it a power up, a power boost. We'll see. You'll see at the end of the video. Now, if you come over here and we click on the stone, you're gonna see that boom, we have our first boss. So now we know that we gotta go get our first boss, or where our first boss is, right on our map, right here. We're right here. If we go down south, we're gonna see our trophy or our boss. So Hugin says this stone is Hugin even tells you like, hey, this is how you're gonna be able to tell where your boss is. So as you see, boom, we just got a level up on our jump. We got level 2 on our jump. There's tons of levels for your actual like skills, like cutting wood and all of that stuff. So now with that said, let me see if I could get myself right here. These are all your skills. Obviously, the more tools and things like that you get, the higher you increase them. You see? So I have running at 0, jumping at 2, fist, because you just saw me fist fight, clubs, and all of that stuff. Now, if you want to craft stuff, you're gonna hit Y, and you're gonna go over to the craft menu, which it would be nice if I could see it. You could always see, if you're playing with other players as well, you could always go right here, and you could turn on PvP, friendly fire enable, and disable. So that way you could tell, oh, okay, I could PvP with other people. Now there is also the message log. There's tons of things over here, but right now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go collect some stones. And again, Hugin is gonna tell you more tips. You could always talk to him. I already know what he's gonna say, so I don't really care too much. I'm gonna start going around picking up picks like of wood, picking up little stones. That way I could try to build myself some recipes. Now I'm gonna try not to steer away too far from this thing right here. As you can see, my little trophy thing right here. But I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna head south, and I'm gonna start figuring out like finding my first base. For your first base, you don't have to go all out. I would suggest for you guys not to go all out, building a huge base, because you're gonna get better things and you're gonna get better locations, and you don't want to do that. So now boom, Hugin is like, hey man, come over here. He's gonna tell me, hey man, this is how you call on the beast. It says mythical altar. This is where I'm at. This is where the boss fight is. It says hunt his skin. So for the first boss, you're gonna need two trophies of the deers. You see, he's a deer. So if we get 2 deer trophies, or 2 heads of deers, we can slam in here, and then we're gonna do the first boss fight. Now, it is not gonna be hard for you to do the boss fight. Do not be scared of the boss, and I would suggest for you to almost rush the first boss. The reason why is because the first boss is gonna give you what you need. It's gonna give you like a horn, which you can make a pickaxe, which is gonna take you to the next level of like Bronze Age. Now, I think we should have enough to craft the. Yeah, there you go. We have enough. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna craft a club. I'm gonna craft an axe, and I'm gonna craft a club. Oh, I don't have enough for a club. All right, here we go. You could hold both a torch and an axe. If it's nighttime, that's always good. All right. When you're cutting trees down, there's a way for you to cut trees. It's gonna be crazy, in the sense of that you always want to cut trees where there's other trees, because then you could almost like domino affect it. And what I mean by that is that one tree falls, he hits the other tree, and then like that, and then they all start falling down, and because it causes damage. But sometimes the domino effects can be hard to trigger, but it's always good to cut trees like this, like when they're all next to each other. Be careful the tree doesn't fall on your head, because it will hurt. Here we go, another Greg. Get out of here, Greg. Now, I'm just chopping trees down right now because we're gonna need the wood as we progress. Come on. If you really want to take care of Gregs and they're really bothering you, just get the torch and hit them with the torch. If I believe if you hit them 2 or 3 times, look, they die. Because it's fire, and they're like trees. I guess you could call them tree creatures. So they're gonna go down with fire easily. Alright, so it looks like we triggered a domino effect right here. You can see all the trees kind of fell a little bit. This is the only thing that could be obnoxious about Hugin. he keeps following me and being like, come talk to me. And it's like, I'll be right there in a second. All right. So like I said, we're going to have to build our little first, I guess, quarters. I would suggest for you guys not to build something big. And in reality, I would suggest for you guys to head down to the shore. Every map seed, just like if you were playing Minecraft, is different. So everything is different. Now let's head down to the shore where I know there's water, because near water you're gonna find flint, which is great because you're gonna need that. Also, while you're walking in the map, you're gonna see abandoned houses. You could always take over one of them to be your first house. That is ideally what you should do. Take over one of those to be your house. Alright, as we come down to the shoreline, we see an abandoned house, as you can see. Sometimes these abandoned houses will have a chest. They would have loot in them. Obviously, this one didn't have much loot in it. But, I mean, as you can see, it's near the water. It's not bad. And right here in the water, we're going to find one of the resources that we're going to need, which is flint. Right? We're going to need that in order to craft some items that we're going to use in the future, like a better axe and all that stuff. So just pick up a couple of flint. Now, if you want to take over this house, let's say, like, hey, man, I'm thinking I'm going to, yeah, this house looks good. I'm going to take over it. You're going to need a hammer. That's the way that you're going to craft a lot of things. So we're going to go ahead and craft a hammer. And we're going to go ahead and craft a club as well. Now, when you come over on the Xbox and you select the hammer, the way that you're going to build things is that you're going to go ahead and you're going to hit the B button. And once you hit the B, it's going to give you the menu. Anytime that you are going to take over a place, you're going to need to build a workbench. A workbench, I would say, it's kind of like, oh my god, this little necks. I don't know why they call them necks and not just like tails or something like that. Yeah, but the way that it's gonna work is that your workbench is gonna be, I don't know how to explain it other than, like, if you play Rust, it's like your TC. If you could see right here, there's like an area. You see the little circle over there? Yeah, that's the area, or like the area right here. I guess let me slap this down so you guys can see it. You see how there's like an area around me? Yeah, it's like, it shows you like an area. That's like the TC area. That's like the claim area, or you claim this land, I guess you could say. But yeah, we slapped down this workbench, and we learned tons of other blueprints for, like, in regards to building, in regards to stuff like that. And the only way that you're going to be able to build any of this stuff, it's if you have the workbench nearby. You could always destroy things and then get the materials back. But if you could see, now I can no longer build any of this because the land is not claimed by me. So now let's go ahead inside and let's place this inside. Monsters or creatures in the game are always gonna go after your workbench. You know, that's like the thing that they're gonna go after first. Now, it doesn't mean that if they destroy your workbench, all of your things are just destroyed. No, it's just, you know, like, it's just one of those things that, like, yeah, it sucks if it does happen, but, you know, don't worry about it. Now, Hugin is gonna want to talk to me. I don't really want to talk to this dude, but okay, yeah, dude, thanks. I know. Now, once you claim your house, you could go ahead and you could start fixing it. If you go ahead and press right, what is this? RB. I don't even want to call it right trigger port. Yeah, RB. If you go ahead, you're gonna go ahead and repair everything. Now, this is not gonna use up any of your wood in your inventory. It just uses stam. That's all it really uses. You could go ahead and repair the base. That way, if something's attacking you, you're safe and sound. Like so. Now we have a base, as you can see. Boom, our first base. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing big, but it's not crazy because we're not gonna be here for too long. Once we get the horn of the deer, and then we get our pickaxe, we're probably gonna be moving into like a nearby mine, you know, when we're mining copper. Because why would we want to walk all the way here with the copper? That's why I say don't focus too much on one base. Once there's gonna be a time in a moment where you're like, okay, this is where I want to build, you know. The wastelands is a good place to build, but it's not the greatest. I wouldn't go end game on like your starting area unless you have a really good starting area, which we'll get to that later. But all right, so now that we have this, we're good. Everything is repaired. We know that we're missing a roof, so let's go ahead and let's click over on the roof. We could always turn it. We could always turn the item with the right trigger and the left trigger. And then we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna build it with RB, and then boom. Now we have our base. Our base is completed, as you can see. Then let's go ahead and we're gonna place this wall right here, I guess you could say. That way we could seal this up, if it lets me. And is it gonna let me? There you go. Now that the base is sealed up, as you can see at the top right, I have a shelter buff. Perfect, right? Now with that done, we could always build our bed. So we're gonna go ahead and build our bed right here, right next to the workbench. Obviously it's becoming a little tight, you know, but I mean, it is what it is. Now the tricky part about a bed right here is that, okay, here we go. It's like, hey, you know you could sleep that night away. Yes, we could. Thanks, bro. So once you build a bed, the tricky part about a bed is that we can't sleep in it because we don't have a fire nearby. So we're gonna have to build the fire. Now there is ways for you to build your fire inside of your base if you so choose to, but you're gonna have to make what is called a chimney or something, because then the fire is gonna make too much smoke and that's gonna start making you take damage. Now I did that in my live stream where I showed you guys, but I'll be showing you guys on a future base, because again, we took over this base, so it's not really ours. Now we're gonna have to go find some stone and some wood in order for us to build that campfire. So let me go ahead and find that, and I'll come back to you guys in a second. All right, we have come back, and as you can see, we have a little pest inside our base trying to attack our workbench. This is why we should place a door whenever we can. Now let's go ahead and let's build ourselves a little campfire. Now I would suggest for you guys to build a campfire near your bed. That way you could actually sleep it off right here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna build ourselves a door so they don't come in and out like that, you know. All right, and boom, that's our door. Perfect. Now we could go in and out as we please. We have a shelter, we have comfort. At the top right, you can see our comfort shelter, and we're near a fire, right? Now, you could always build stuff in the workbench, as you can see, and you could also repair in the workbench. I would suggest for you to come over and repair your tools. I think it doesn't use any materials, and you can repair things pretty quickly. Now, as you can see, boom, we're good to go, right? And we are rested. Now, if you see at the top left, we are rested for 11 minutes. That rested buff is huge. You might see like, oh, that's cool, it's rested. No. The rested buff takes big time, dude. Like, it gives you like 200% recover, like stam recover and HP recover is nuts. It's a buff that you always want to maintain and keep at all times. Now, with that done, we're gonna go ahead, and I believe we have enough to do this. Yes, we do. You could always slap down one of these on top of your little fire, and then you can start cooking food of the boar pig meat that you got, the tails that you got from those necks. That way you can start getting food. So you got the basics of it, right? You got the basics on how to get started. It's not crazy, it's not that hard. We have our first baits, and we're like 20 minutes into this. Yeah, so like we're good. Now you're gonna wait. Whenever you hear that sound, you know the meat is done cooking. If you leave the meat cooking for over what it's supposed to stay at, it's gonna turn into charcoal. It's gonna burn and turn into charcoal. Boom, we got 2 types of meat, so we're gonna go ahead and eat this and eat that. Now I have 3 different buffs at the bottom left, as you can see. For the meat, I have 80 stam now, and if I'm not mistaken, I have tons of HP. I don't know how much HP I have, but I have tons of HP. Oh boy, here we go. We got a gray. What's up, Greg? Oh, this is a gray door, so it's a tougher enemy. Look at him run away. You see, this is how you get Gregs like this with the torch. It does so much damage to them. It's better than hitting them with clubs. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Way better than hitting them with clubs. Now, that's over with. Done and done with. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go at our workbench. And as you can see in our workbench, we're gonna be able to craft our crude bow, as well as we're gonna be able to craft our arrows. Now, with that said, this is gonna be our gold. We're gonna wanna rush the crude bow. We're gonna need a bow in order to kill the first boss. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and explore, and you guys should do at this point. Go and explore the map, get tons of items, get tons of resources to craft your bow, and as well as if you see right here, I could even upgrade items. I would suggest for you guys to go ahead, go and make yourself a bow, try to make yourself some arrows. Your aim is to try to get your armor. So as you can see, we have rag tunic and rag pants. You're gonna want to go ahead and grab some deer meat, or I should say some deer hide. That way you could get the, if I believe it's like leather. You want to craft yourself some leather. So here, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go explore, and we're gonna go get tons of hide or leather hide and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do that right now, okay? Alright, so we have been farming and we got tons of loot. We unfortunately ran out of space, I guess you could call it. As you can see, we have tons of food. We've been cooking, we've been gathering. We actually managed to make ourselves a bow and some arrows. We did get enough trophies. All we need is 2, and we got like 3. We managed to find this knife, kniff, and one of the chests from the abandoned buildings. Now here's the thing about putting the campfire outside. Whenever it rains, there's no fire. That's the only downside. This is why it's good to have the fire inside with a chimney, but right now we can't really afford that. Now that that is done, we're gonna do the next step, which is gonna be to upgrade. What I mean by that is placing this. I mean, you could place it in the inside, you could place it in the outside, however you like it. Because we are full, we're gonna go ahead and place that in the outside. Now that is going to upgrade our workbench, so we're gonna be able to build ourselves some leathers. You see, leather tunic, leather pants. We're gonna be able to go ahead and build ourselves a deer hide and even the leather helmet, right? We collected now a couple of leather stuff. We also could make now fire arrows as well as flint arrows. Now obviously flint arrows are going to be way better than wooden arrows, but when we're going to do the boss fight, we're going to need this wooden arrows. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to upgrade this to tier 2. The bow, I should say. Once we have the tier 2 bow, we're going to go ahead and we're going to craft a lot of arrows. We're going to need tons of them. You don't really need flint arrows for the first boss fight. You know, just regular arrows will be fine. Let's build like 100 of them, right? And then I want to build like 20 fire arrows. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we're comfortable now. We didn't manage to do all the stuff that we wanted, but I figured I'll go with whatever you guys are gonna have patience with. So first things first, we only managed to build the leather pants and the leather helmet, because honestly killing deers have gone a little obnoxious. If you guys didn't know, you could sneak up behind them by pressing the right analog stick down, and then you just kind of crouch, and then you could just kind of like, you know, you could kind of get him with the arrows, or you could just sneak up behind them with the flint knife and then just kind of like get him. If you guys know, if you catch a deer, a pug, any type of creature in the game, and you sneak up on them and you attack them, you do like 2 times damage. So yeah, like we were able to kill them like that easily, as well as we were able to get them with the bow and arrow. So we do have 40 flame arrows. We got 100 regular arrows. So we're gonna go over there. Alright, here we go. So the way to do this boss fight, I remember when I came here, I'm like, what's going on? Why can I not? It's because you have to select or highlight whatever the heck you have on. And then boom. Okay, we got 1 trophy. Where is it gonna spawn? Okay, he's gonna be behind there. This is to show you guys that you could solo it and it doesn't take a lot to do this. And I missed the first arrow. I got the second one. And he throws electricity, as you can see. Just be very careful. I messed up already. And I'll tell you guys how. I forgot to eat the 3rd food. You always want to have 3 foods with you. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. Now mind you, I only upgraded this to the 2nd tier. Or I only upgraded it once, the bow and arrow. And this is why flame arrows do a lot of damage. You can see we already have him dropped to a 1/4. Ooh, flame arrows do tons of damage to this thing. Oh man. One of my main suggestions to you guys would be, if you're gonna do this, make sure you have a stam food like honey. If you guys don't know how to get honey, I'll show you in a quick tip video. Oh boy. I'll be making lots of those for guides. I hope you guys enjoy them. But yeah, like, look at this. As you can see, it's not that hard. We're just gonna keep running around in circles. Just watch out for that lightning of his. Like that one. Just keep, you know, just keep shooting at him. And, you know, if you're a better shot than I am, you'll probably get done with this boss a lot faster than I will. Not the greatest shot, but as you can see, 1 attack from him doesn't do a lot of damage. This is considered the easiest boss. Obviously, it's the first boss, but like, this boss is nothing compared to the 2nd one and the 3rd one. I would say the 3rd boss is actually the hardest boss in all of the game compared to many bosses. But yeah, the 3rd one is the hardest one, just because of like all the debuffs and shit that he does. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, we're doing good. Oh my goodness. This is what we need, stam food. Now again, we only have HP food on us right now, which is like the meat. If we had honey, we would probably be doing a lot better. We wouldn't run out of stam. And if we landed our arrows, we would be doing a lot better too. That's another one. How did that not land? I think he's at half now. Oh, I didn't curve. Oh boy. I think he's at half HP now. Right? Yeah. Yeah, he seems to be at half. Okay, we're about to run out of the flame arrows, which is not bad. Just with 39 arrows and missing half of them, we've dropped them a lot. Now mind you, you probably do a lot more damage if you're actually landing your shots. This has been kind of like all, as you can see, every single time I landed, it does a lot of damage. Oh my god, and I don't have a lot of bow skills. Wow, I hit the tree instead of him. Okay, we ran out of flame arrows, so we're just purely arrows right now. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Ooh, AoE. Oh no! That's gonna hurt. Okay, he's down to a 1/4. Oh man. There you go, he's down to a 1/4. He's almost down. He's probably gonna go down here in like one more hit. Yep. There he goes. And he's down, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, we get tons of goodies. As you can see, we got the harden. Now we could actually craft the pickaxe. And then since we happen to be... Oh, look, Hugin is going to give us a tip. What do you want, Hugin? Congratulations, warrior. Obviously, he's congratulating us on, you know, being able to clap cheeks. So let's head over here, and then this is the place where you want to slap the trophy. So obviously we see this is the deer. So if you come over here, you could attach the trophy, and then now here is the actual part that I was telling you guys. You could go ahead and you could get the buff of the alert. As you can see, it says it gives you the ability to jump and run is improved. It says your jump stamina usage is 60% less. So that means you're using less stamina to jump and less stamina to run. So we're gonna go ahead and activate that. We are good, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and rate to Huygens. It says you have granted the power of the Elric. Use this times in need. So for this power, I would say use it whenever like you die and you're trying to run back to your body. That's one. The second one would be if you're trying to run away from things. That's another one. So the way that you activate this power, if you hit, you can see right there, the right and the left analog stick, you had to press them down, right? So it's gonna look something like this. Boom! And now, as you can see, we're consuming less stam. Obviously, the power is gonna go on a cooldown, and at the top right is gonna show you how long the power is gonna last for. Oh my god, this pig somehow is keeping up with me. But yeah, you see, it's actually good. But I mean, primarily we did this for the pickaxe. That way we could get the pickaxe going and we could go ahead and start farming some copper. Alright, we're good. Now we're back to the base. And as you can see over here, we're going to go over here and it's going to tell us what we need in order to craft this. We're going to need 10 wood and 1 antler. Now luckily, this actual boss gave us 3 antlers. So we could craft up to 3 in case you were to lose one. For some reason, I don't know why you would, but you know, in case you lose one. Now we managed to have ourselves a pickaxe. Let's go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to tune in to the next video where I'm going to show you where to get copper, how to get some mining, and where the dark forest is. So tune in next time, guys. I love you guys. I hope you enjoy this. I hope this helps you get started in the game. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye!